Okay, this is Precious. Remember we stopped at the organizing section in the five, talking about the five elements of health and safety management system. Talking about planning, policy, organizing, planning, evaluation, and action for improvement. And okay, we call it audit. I said that policy is where the organization sets the policy. You know. Um, Highlighting what they really want to make out of it, their aim, their objectives regarding a particular thing. But like I said, we are dealing with safety policies, so um, it's a company sets up policies on safety, how they want their safety management systems to be, how effective they want their safety management to function, and expects that there should be conformance and compliance from everyone in the organization. Now, this is the organization section. The organization section is where everybody plays their role. It shows us the roles. As you can see them here, I said it earlier, I explained the roles everybody has to play in ensuring that this policy is effective. So we'll be looking further down at these things. Organization part is very important because this is the part. I remember I said planning. The policy is what, the organizing is who, and the arrangement is how. Although this organization section is not really the one regarding the policy, but they are quite similar because um, in the organization section is still about assigning people to duties and tasks to bring about a common goal. So here, according to ILO, we have here that the employer's responsibility, we read it earlier in the beginning. If you recall back, you will see that the employer has a responsibility according to the convention and the recommendation. Like I said, the convention are the ones that set. Convention lays out the standards, while the recommendation highlights the people, the individuals, to ensure that these standards are met. And this is the one for the employer written here. Because of time, I may not read it all out because I've read it before, and you can look at it here yourself. You can pause the video and read it, and but we'll just scroll down. This chapter is really big, and we can't spend so much time on it. Now, the middle managers and the supervisors. Firstly, the top management are the ones who set up these policies. They are also the ones who assign people to their duties and tasks, while the middle managers and supervisors who are involved in the day-to-day running of the organization are also responsible to ensure that the health and safety standards under their control are met too. Yes, every operation, office, or whatever the position they occupy, whatever area they occupy, they have to ensure that the work practice, the place, the setup, everything conforms to safety standards. Yeah, the senior directors are the ones who sign these policies. They are the ones who also set up these policies. Yes, that is the let's say chief executives now, or let's just say the top management here. Line managers are responsible for the safety of their staff directly under them, and it goes on like that. The safety specialists give advice. Um, how this let's say safety um, policy should how the effect it should take. Sometimes the advice they give can affect the policies, and because they are safety specialists, they would usually have better knowledge on these things. They are responsible for giving correct advice to the organization so that their organization can meet its legal obligation and achieve its policy aims. Yes. So they also have their roles. The workers have to ensure that they comply. You can see the responsibilities and duties of a safety specialist. They give advice, promote health and safety culture, developing and implementing policy, identify training needs, monitor safety performance, oversee accident reports and investigations. So these are the jobs of this is the stakeholders, even the workers, the self-employed, the manufacturers. I explained everything here the job of manufacturers having to provide um, data sheets for their whatever they supply, be it chemicals, machines. They must ensure that um, these data sheets contain how they can control these their products in case things go out of hand. Things like emergency procedures, things to do when emergency situations arise. So now, let's talk about a client and a contractor. A contractor is a person or organization engaged or undertakes certain work on behalf of a client, but not the client's direct supervision and control. A client, a person, is a person or organization who engages a contractor. Now, from what we can see here, an organization can be the client, or the top management can be the client, while a contractor could be the one who the client has employed to do a job in his organization. Now, why the job before the job is done, the client has a lot of job to do. Before then, he is to ensure that he selects the right contractor for the job. Yes, he must be competent enough to the contractor must be competent enough for the job. The job must be properly planned. He must ensure that he works with the client, even monitor the client to ensure health and safety standards are met. Yes, that's the job because he both of them are responsible for the safety and health of the people in the workplace and even the workers. Yeah, so he is to oversee and ensure that these standards are met. Now even monitoring the work, we should have a sign and out procedure, controlling high risk as there must be work permits. There will be site induction training for all contractors. Before a job is done, they should be inducted on the kind of work, the terrain they'll be working, and all of that. So now these are the things to look out for before selecting a contractor. A copy of health and safety policy, examples of risk assessment, qualifications, membership of any professional organization, just to ensure that you're selecting the right person and not just anybody. Because if things go wrong, the client would really be going for it, or he'll be answerable to the authorities. So he has to ensure that he chooses the right person. These are the things that he must look out for when choosing a contractor. Yeah, so proof of adequate resources, records of enforcement action taken against him, accident history records, because these are the things that validate how professional the contractor is and how good he is. Now, joint occupiers of premises, they have a job too. They must cooperate and work together to ensure that the place is safe. Well, they should both of them should have a safety policy because they are joint occupiers of a premise. They should highlight to inform each other of the dangers their jobs or their businesses pose to each other. Yeah, they should do that so they can. This way, they can be able to foresee any hazard or anything like that because they are aware of the likely dangers that could come up due to their businesses or nature of business. Yeah, so they have to work together to bring a safety policy and also highlight to each other how dangerous or whatever dangers they face. Now here are the questions. Which category of people does an employer owe a duty to? Which are categories of duty? You list them. Firstly, the workers, of course, the visitors, as visitors and organization, the workers, of course, also even members of the public. Yes, it owes a duty to those people to ensure that the things they do in the organization and all of that do not cause harm to these people in every way. Now, I outline the common duties of employees. They have to cooperate with their employers to ensure that ensuring that they meet up to the health and safety standards of the organization. They have to also take care of the things they do, be mindful of themselves, take care of their own safety and others by watching the things they do and the things they don't do. Yes, they have to obey health and safety rules and regulations and conform to the company policies and standards and all of that. They have to also use their PPEs when necessary and not tamper with them or damage them. Where business premises are rented, is the employer responsible for health and safety matters, raising the point of entry and exit from the workplace? Well, the business premises are rented. The owners of the premises are responsible for the safety of the entry and exit. It's the owners of the premises, not really the employers. Though the employer could choose to get involved, but the owners of the premises are the ones necessary to ensure that the entry and exit of the workplace is safe and all of that. Outline areas of responsibilities placed on people in the supply chain for articles and subtasks which they supply to workplaces. Now, the responsibilities for suppliers and manufacturers, they are to ensure that their products conform to safety standards. They give guidance on how these things should be, how their products should be used properly. Yes, they should also provide testing of this equipment, safe testing, provision of manuals that could enable the users of this their product use them without facing any harm or danger. Yes, and also provision of which you have material safety data sheets or safety data sheets here. So that's the outline responsibilities of the client and contractor, where a contractor is working in a client space. Well, the client is to ensure that when the contractor's work, the job he's doing it in the right way, in the sense that it conforms to safety standards. Yes, it is also his job to monitor the work too, surveillance and all of that. To ensure that there is no harm as a result of the job being done. He is also to provide the right contractor. Yes, also to ensure that the contractor is the right person selected. There should be risk assessments carried out. The worker should be inducted, before the job started and all of that. So you can read more in the book and you'd see more of this. Now let's talk about health and safety culture. I'm going to end this topic here. I will continue in the next one, my health and safety culture. Thank you.
Are you done?